Oh, what's up guys, it's Mac and I'm back with another video. Today I have got week 1 of the Indigo League of Legends, and yes, I did not misspeak. Yeah, there you go. I did not misspeak. It is week 1. Watch my team builder video if you want to know what happened to the league and all that stuff. We had to restart from the beginning. Now I face Isaiah week 1. But I'm really looking forward to this. It should be a whole lot of fun. I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are too. The team that Isaiah brought is Mega Gardevoir, Talonflame, Registeel, Kecleon, Cresselia, and Jirachi. If you watch our team building video, you will know that I actually predicted all 6 of those to come. I thought there was maybe a chance for the Sharpedo and maybe a chance for the Hawlucha, but in the end, I thought that because I have so many checks for the Sharpedo and Ferrothorn and Mienshao and just stuff like that, I didn't think he would bring it. I thought that it would be more beneficial for him to bring another Steel type, even though Charizard is able to go through Steel types. Both of his Steel types are very good, and I thought he'd want to set up Rocks right away. Also, another quick thing to say before I get in this, there's 2 things wrong with my Stoutland, and I'm also doing this post-com because I finally beat the game. I finally beat Oris, so now I have the versus recorder, and I wanted to use it for once. So that's why it's like this. That's why I'm doing this. Is because of that. The 2 things wrong with my Stoutland are 1, I forgot to change it from Intimidate to Sand Rush, and I find that out at the very end of the battle. So I have Intimidate Stoutland and not Sand Rush, which really sucks. Also, my happiness, I didn't have time to get it up to 252, so it's like 240 something, so it's not max happiness either. So both of those could be very crucial in this battle, especially looking at his team. Fortunately for me, I think I'll only be returning 3 of those mons. For the other 2, I'll be superpowering / crunching, so it should be okay, but we will see. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into this week 1 battle. It was a very good battle, and I hope you guys enjoy. I will be doing a lot of stopping because I do want to explain plays, and I want to make sure that you guys know what I was thinking in certain situations, since I am not doing this live. So Right away. He leads the Jirachi, I lead the Mienshao. If he's Scarfed, I pretty much die, so I have to hard switch out immediately, and I go into the Hippowdon thinking that if he goes for Psyshock, it won't do much. If he goes for T-Wave, it won't do anything. And so basically, I do this play, I switch out, and he goes for the Thunder Wave, so this is good. Okay, at this point, I sit here and I'm thinking for a long time about what I want to do. I pretty much decided I don't want to click Earthquake here. I want to actually set up my Stealth Rocks, because I noticed by looking at his team, he has no way to get rid of Rocks. So if I can get up my Stealth Rocks right here, turn 1, it's totally worth it. And I don't think there's anything that he could have that would actually hurt me. I'm a very bulky Hippowdon, max bulk, like no attack or anything. It's just all fatness in that Hippowdon, so I'm like, if I can get these rocks up, it'll be really crucial. However, I don't want to lose too much, because this is still my main switch into the Talonflame, and a Flare Bullet still does like a good 35 to 40% to my Hippo, so I don't want to take too much damage, but at the same time, I need to get up my rocks. So we find out though that he is Grass Knot Jirachi, which is a great play. It does a clean 75%. And that sucks. That really sucks. Now I have to immediately look at my opponent's team, and I see that I have to force in a switch on the from the Registeel, and that's the only way that I can really slack off again with my dude. So we also find out he has T-Wave, he has Grass Knot, and he has Wish. I assume his last move is a Psychic move or a Steel move. I assume because he has the Registeel, it'll be a Psychic move, but I just go for Leech Seed on whatever comes in, because I know he has no grass types. I do run Protect. I knew that he wouldn't have a Fire move, because it just wouldn't make sense for him to not have any stab on the Jirachi, so I just go for the Leech Seed. Right here, I'm going to go for Protect, because I want to know what kind of Kecleon it is. I assume it'd be the normal Power-Up Punch, like Shadow Sneak, like that thing, but I didn't know if he might have like Fire Punch or something. So I protect the first turn, and my Sandstorm is going to go away. I'm going to get my Leech Seed, and we find out here that he really doesn't have the Fire Punch because he just kind of leaves. And what he goes into is the Cresselia. The Cresselia is kind of annoying, but at the same time, I feel like I can handle it with my Ferrothorn. I went for Gyro Ball on the Kecleon the turn before because I thought that a Gyro Ball plus another turn of Leech Seed would put him into a thing of health where I'd be able to kill him very easily. I don't have anything here that I really want to switch into this because if I switch into the Hippo, I can't touch it. There's no point in me switching in. He goes for T-Wave. I do find out he has T-Wave on this also. So now we know that he has T-Wave on the Jirachi, he has T-Wave on this, and I'm trying to figure out a Pokemon that I can set up on with my Charizard, because that's the name of the game, is to set up with Charizard and win. And it's not either of these right now. I thought I'd be able to set up on the Cresselia, but because he's not toxic and he is Thunder Wave, I can't really do that. He makes another switch, and he goes into the Talonflame now. As I go for the Gyro Ball, and I figured this actually might kill. I really thought that it would, looking at it, and it doesn't. It gets kind of close, but now he's forced to Roost, so I mean, this is my best play overall. Right now, going into Tabu Cops was my best play overall because if he goes for Brave Bird, which would be a bad play, but if he goes for Brave Bird, then I can, I'm going to pause this right here, then I can easily take that with my Kabutops. If he goes for the Flare Blitz, I can easily take that with my Tabu Cops. And if he goes for Roost, it's a free switch in for my Tabu Cops, and something's taking a knockoff. So he does go for Roost. I'm able to get up a free knockoff. This is a really big point in the battle right now because I'm running a very special version of Kabutops. I'm running Calm Assault Vest so that I can take hits from Talonflame, and I can also take hits from the Mega Gardevoir if that comes in. I'm able to take a Hyper Voice, and it'll do about 70%, and then I'm also able to hit back with Waterfall and do about 70% myself. So that was the main thing right here, is he comes in with this. I know that I'm bulky. I know I can take hits from anything. This is a really good check to Talonflame. I don't think he wants to hit me, so I'm just going to click Knock Off and see what happens. So he does restore his HP with the Roost, and he does withdraw. Who he withdraws into is Daisy, though, his Mega Gardevoir, which is the Mega Gardevoir that I actually made for him back in the day. He's just now kind of adjusted the moveset and stuff. But he traces my Swift Swim, which is fine. I'm not going to go for Rain Dance or anything. I'm Assault Vest. So I knock off, and that does a clean 50%. And this point, another pause real quick. This point, I actually think about this move till just about the very end of the timer. I know I can live a Hyper Voice. However, do I want to switch into the Ferrothorn, and is it worth just killing this thing now? Because if he has Hidden Power Fire, then I have very limited switch-ins to this thing. My switch-in as of right now is the Ferrothorn. So if he has Hidden Power Fire, I have very limited switch-ins. If he doesn't have Hidden Power Fire, I have almost unlimited switch-ins to my Ferrothorn. So I was really like thinking in my head, how much do I need Kabutops? Do I think that he will get a crit and kill me? I mean, you can't like predict that, but do I really want to kill this thing now? Or do I want to wait? I didn't know. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I ended up just choosing to go for the Waterfall. So you're going to see he's going to Mega Evolve, and he is going to click Hyper Voice, and this Hyper Voice is going to smack me in the face. With a clean 80%. He max rolled on that as well, by the way. And I go for the Waterfall. The Waterfall is easily going to be able to kill. I don't think he's running max HP Gardevoir. At least I'm assuming he's not. Even so, I think it would still kill. The Kecleon comes in, and I know that he is going to go for Shadow Sneak. I know I can live one. Even if he max rolls, it brings me down to like 2 HP, I think. So I know that I can live. I live with 3. So he almost max rolls. I click Knock Off, and the Kecleon is gone. So that was another huge thing. Shadow Sneak just doesn't do enough for Kecleon, in my opinion. It's good because it's good for Protean, but then he just brings in the Jirachi, and the way that I see it, I can click Knock Off, and if he goes for Wish or T-Wave or something, predicting my switch, then he takes a ton of damage. If I die, that's fine, because Kabutops has already done his job, and he's done his job greatly. I'm going to go into Jack, because now I know that he's not Scarfed, and I know that I outspeed him. He is going to switch out as I click U-turn. Now we get into a little bit more of a tedious battle of him trying to not let his walls go down, and me trying to slowly dwindle those down, and with me having rocks up and him not, and me U-turning and pivoting, it kind of, I mean, I kind of have the upper hand at this point of the battle. I feel like it's kind of in my favor right now. I'm going to U-turn on that, and I'm going to go into the Hippowdon. I really think I should have gone into Charizard right there and just set up in one, because I don't think he'd run T-Wave on this too. I ended up at the end of the battle, I have my notepad, I don't think he ended up having T-Wave on Registeel, so that was probably the best play and what I should have done, but I didn't. So I go into this, and I'm going to slack off, because remember earlier I said I needed the Registeel to come in for me to slack off. Well, I took that opportunity right there, slack offed, and I am Rocky Helmet, so if he hits me, he takes damage himself. And then I am going to start being very, very annoying, and I'm going to slack off to full health. Now I start being very, very annoying. And the only thing I can really touch this Cresselia with is a Whirlwind. I don't know if he knows that, but I know that he's in the yellow, so I assume that he would just want to either Moonlight up or hit me with something. He does have Aurora Beam, which is kind of weird. I like how Aurora Beam looks, but it's not the move that you should have on a Cresselia. He does get the attack fall, which is really, really annoying, but you should definitely have Ice Beam or Icy Wind on that thing. But anyways, I Whirlwind him into Jirachi, and at this point, I know that I can take one Grass Knot. I know I can take it. So I am just going to click Earthquake and try to kill this thing. Try to. I don't know how bulky it is, but we find out it's very, very bulky. Very bulky. That is a pretty bulky Jirachi. That did maybe 40%, so he might even be like max HP with some defense. I find out through Galaxies at least the max HP, and now I don't want to take a Grass Knot now that the Sand's gone, so I'm just going to go into Ferrothorn, and I'm going to have my Iron Barbs hit the Jirachi, which doesn't really matter because he does have the Wish, which is going to bring him up back over half. And again, as I said, this is where the tedious point of us just going back and forth trying to whittle down each other's walls happens. So he goes for the Wish again, probably trying to pass it into something. He really doesn't need it on the Jirachi right now, but I just go for the Leech Seed. I should have predicted him to switch because he doesn't want to sit in there being seeded. However, I'm gonna get up back to my full health again, and I also realized at this point in the battle, if he did have Hidden Power Fire on the Gardevoir, that was probably his only chance of getting rid of Talonflame. Of getting rid of Ferrothorn, other than Talonflame, which basically kills itself. Right there, I could have made a play, and I could have just gone for something predicting the Roost. Sorry, I didn't switch into Mienshao on the Talonflame. I switched into Mienshao, and I'm forced to double out because he switched into the Talonflame. I wanted to switch into the Mienshao on the Registeel switch, but that ended up not being the case. However, I switch into Hippowdon. He hits me with a Willow, and that kind of sucks because now I don't have much offensive pressure, and I'm also going to be whittled down slowly. And Burn does more damage than I feel like it should. It keeps taking like a really big chunk of my health, but at this point, I click Whirlwind because if he comes back in after the Whirlwind, he's forced to roost up, and if he attacks me and then I Whirlwind, now he dies. So now that the Talonflame just got Whirlwinded out, it is dead. It is below half health. It's going to take 50% from rocks as it comes back in, and it's just done. So no longer dealing with the Talonflame. However, the Cresselia comes in and it's pretty low, so I assume it's going to Moonlight. And at this point, I'm kind of deciding what I want to do as far as Hippo goes. I'm not sure how long I want to keep him around. I'm not sure if he needs to stay alive. I really, at this point, I just want to set up my Sand for my Stoutland and then die. That's the main thing that I want to do right now. And but as you saw, my Stoutland ends up not being the right ability. But at this point in the battle, I still think, because Stoutland hasn't came out yet, I still think it's Sand Rush and not Intimidate. So I'm going to keep Whirlwinding. It just knocks them down with rocks a little bit. Rocks and sand are very annoying, and I'm going to slack off because I figured that it might be best for me to be able to bring in the Hippo one more time just to set up rocks, or just to set up sand, and then get out of there to the Stoutland. Because I looked at his team at this point, and I thought that 2 Banded Crunches would kill the Registeel, so I thought that it would for sure kill the Cresselia. and if it can kill the Cresselia, then the Talonflame's already dead, and then it can kill the Jirachi. So that was my thing right there, and I switch in there predicting him to Moonlight or do anything really, probably Moonlight, but I knew he would not T-Wave on a Hippo, so I switch into my Stoutland, I Intimidate, and I'm just sitting there thinking, oh fuck. I might as well go for Banded Crunch because I'm still going to outspeed this thing, and I assumed I would take out the Cresselia, and I assumed wrong. The Cresselia lives. Goes for T-Wave. Now I have a T-Wave Stoutland, which really sucks. I did not want that to happen whatsoever. I really thought about bringing Shaman to this battle so I could Aromatherapy up all of the T-Wave so I wouldn't be as scared of T-Wave, but I ended up just not bringing it. So I go for another Crunch as he switches into the Registeel. He actually thought about this play for a very long time. I think he ran some calcs trying to figure out if Registeel would be 2KO'd or not. I'm not entirely sure, but I do switch into the Hippowdon on the Registeel because I cannot kill with another Crunch like I thought that I could, and Hippo was just the best thing to switch into at this point. The burn is now getting me down very low, which I don't like. I don't like it at all. But I'm going to go for Earthquake. I know that this Registeel has no recovery. Oh no, he goes for Earthquake, sorry. I go for Whirlwind because I'm trying to bring in the Cresselia to see if it'll die to rocks. And fortunately for me, it dies to rocks perfectly. So the Stoutland really did its job by crunching and getting it down. However, that kill does go to the Hippowdon for not only whirlwinding it in, but it was also the rocks user that got it in. So now Jirachi is going to come out, and there's really not that much that can be done. Basically, I'm just going to let my Hippo die. Because if Hippo dies at this point, then I can just kind of sit here, go into Charizard, and just click Flare Blitz and win the game. As soon as I Mega Evolve, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I outspeed everything on his team at this point anyway. We saw how much HP his Jirachi had, although it was above max HP, or I mean, it was above min speed, because if it was min speed, then my Kabutops would have outsped it and I would have gotten that knockoff off, because I did run 116 in speed for Kabutops so that I could outspeed a min speed Jirachi, in case he was running like bulky Modest or something. I don't know, it's weird. But I do get the Flare Blitz off. It's going to kill. Registeel is going to come in with pretty much no health, and that is going to be a wrap. We are going to start out the season 1-0. That's good, 1-0. The battle with Necro didn't count, unfortunately, again. So we are 1-0, boys. We started this season out with a 4-0 victory. Our differential is +4 right now. +4 differential is going to be huge. He switches into Talonflame, and Talonflame is going to die. Our player of the match is the Kabutops. Kabutops put in so much work. That set was so good. Calm AV with no special defense investment was enough to take a Hyper Voice. And the HP investment was enough to take the Shadow Sneak, and it just did so good. It did so good. So proud of my Kabutops right there. Really, really good. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any press conference questions for me this week, please leave them in the comments section below, or on Twitter, or wherever, on Skype too, wherever it works for you. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.